All right, welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today, getting into some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, should be a good one.
It really should be.
Yeah.
We're looking at Lesson 37 from A Course in Miracles.
Okay.
My Holiness Blesses the World. We were talking about forgiveness the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how that kind of paves the way for us to really recognize our true selves.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Lesson 37 takes that step further and says, okay, so now you're recognizing that true self, that holiness within you. But guess what? That actually has like a ripple effect out into the world. It's not just some internal thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff. We'll be working with excerpts from the workbook for students today. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, so lesson 37, right off the bat, wants us to rethink what holiness even means.
Yeah, it's not what people usually think of, right?
Exactly. Not like, stained glass windows and halos and all that.
Uh-huh. Right.
It's saying, hey, holiness is about recognizing that spark of the divine that's already inside you, like right now.
Mm-hmm. It's about acknowledging that it's there rather than trying to earn it or achieve it or something.
I think that's what makes A Course in Miracles so unique. It's all about shifting perception. So in this case, we shift from, I got to become holy, to, wait, I already am holy, just got to see it.
Exactly. And once you start to see your own holiness, you can't help but see it in others, too.
Okay, so hang on. Are we saying that just by believing in our own holiness, we can actually make a difference in other people's lives?
It sounds wild, right? But there's actually some pretty interesting research that suggests it's possible.
Really?
Yeah, think about the placebo effect. Like, they give someone a sugar pill, tell them it's medicine, and they actually get better. Dr. Ted Kapchuk at Harvard has done some fascinating work on this.
Wow, okay. I mean, I've heard of that, but I've never thought of it in this context.
But it shows that our beliefs and expectations have a real impact on us, even physically. So why couldn't that extend to how we impact others?
That's true. Okay, so this isn't just some mystical woo-woo idea. There might be actual science behind it. So that makes the exercises in the workbook even more interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
One that really caught my eye was the daily affirmation. My holiness blesses the world.
Oh, I love that one.
Can you imagine, starting every single day with that intention?
It's powerful stuff because you're basically saying, I choose to see myself and everyone else through this lens of love and compassion.
And if you really believe that, who knows what kind of ripple effect that could have throughout your day, right?
Precisely.
The workbook also talks about bringing this awareness into your everyday interactions. So next time you're talking to someone, consciously remember their holiness too.
It's almost like a little mental shift.
Right, even if they're being difficult or whatever, remembering that spark within them. I wonder if that could really change how things go.
I think it absolutely can. It allows you to approach the situation with more empathy and understanding, even when it's hard.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And then there's that visualization where you picture yourself as this source of light radiating outward.
Oh, yeah, I love that one. It really helps to make that connection to everything and everyone.
It's such a powerful image, right?
Right.
When we cultivate that inner peace, that holiness, it's not just contained within us, it touches everyone we interact with.
Absolutely. Can't help but spread.
Okay, so how do we actually practice this idea of letting our holiness bless the world?
Well, thankfully, the workbook gives us some concrete exercises to help us do just that.
Lay it on me.
Okay, so one of them is called Holiness Reflection. And it's not about bragging or anything, it's more about identifying the qualities within us that already make us a force for good in the
Oh,
world.
I see. I see. Even those small acts of kindness we do.
Exactly. Like holding the door for someone or listening to a friend who needs to vent. Those are all reflections of our holiness, even if we don't realize it.
I struggle with that sometimes, though. I do nice things, but it feels more like habit than, holiness.
I think intention is really key there. Are you acting out of obligation or from a place of genuine love and compassion? It's subtle, but it makes a big difference.
Okay, that makes sense. So what's another exercise we can try?
Well, there's the gratitude practice, which encourages us to really notice those moments when we've tapped into our holiness.
Like remembering a time when I was patient when I really didn't want to be, or extra kind.
Exactly. Those are signs that you are acting from that place of holiness. And gratitude helps us to recognize those moments and really appreciate them.
That's cool.
Hmm.
But does just thinking about it really have that much of an impact? Does it actually change our brains?
There's actually research that suggests it does. Dr. Sarah Algo at UNC has done some fascinating work on gratitude. Her studies show that gratitude practices can actually increase activity in the parts of our brains associated with empathy and connection.
Wow. So by focusing on the good things, on those moments of holiness, we actually become more tuned in to other people.
It seems that way, and that's pretty amazing if you think about it.
It really is. So if our listeners are going to take one thing away from all this, what would it be? How can we actually embrace this holiness and let it out into the world?
I think the biggest takeaway is realizing how much power our inner world has over our outer world. By cultivating that sense of holiness within us, we become these like beacons of positivity and compassion that ripple out and touch everyone we meet.
We're not just individuals walking around. We're all interconnected, and we have this amazing ability to influence things for the better.
And that's a beautiful thing.
It really is. So remember, everyone, even small shifts in how you see yourself and the world can have huge ripple effects. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thanks everyone.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you tomorrow for another deep dive.